focusing on creating external circumstances that we desire in our life through shifting our mindset and our internal circumstances.
I love it. I love it. It's so much fun. I can complete your sentence when you said the premise of, shifting the external, and I already knew the next part of it was going to be by shifting the internal, which I love starting there, because at one point, Jalisa, this was my greatest weakness on earth. I was like, I'm just going to shift all external by focusing on all external, and I'm not going to be happy until the external looks like I want it to be. So it was the I'll be happy when syndrome. And if you've ever tried that out there, that's a great recipe for present moment depression in a lot of instances. Because if it doesn't look like you want it to look right now, which, how many people, look in the mirror and say, I'd never want my body to change ever again. Like, this is like the perfect body. Or you look at your bank account and like, this is the perfect amount of money that I want to see for the rest of my life. I never want anything to change. Like, that's just not really normal for most of us. So I would love that we started there. And anything that I say that inspires you, I want you to just chime in. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to take it back, but I could tell that I'm already inspiring things from you.
I call it destination happiness, because it's this concept that we always have to be anywhere but where we are. And a lot of times it does create this sense that something's missing, and we're constantly looking outside of ourselves. And I feel a lot of that has a lot to do with the society that we are, that we grow up in, and just conditioning. We're products of our environment, and a lot of what we live in now, we're constantly told. I mean, we live in a society that's based on capitalism and consumerism. So we're always told that we need something to complete ourselves. We need the car, we need the money, we need the house, the makeup. I mean, there's always something that we need in order to feel like we're going to be happy. And like you said, it's never enough. And it's okay to grow, but is it internal or is it external? And are we masking, the internal growth by, like you said, looking to fill the void with external things?
Absolutely. Absolutely. What I learned in life, and whenever we start focusing on the internal and making that matter most, what I've learned is we're still going to, because we're human beings and we live in a expanding universe. Like, everything that we look at, everything is expansion. And if it's not expanding, then you're dying and you're going to leave here soon. So, we're always expanding. And so just knowing that, when it becomes important as far as what the internal is, as we experience these external things that we want to experience, whether it be the relationship or, the career success or whatever it is, it's so much more enjoyable because we didn't need it in order to feel good. Like, it was just like addition. It was like adding to an energy that was already whole and complete before even experiencing that. And so in my experience, it just goes to another place where it's like, wow, this is awesome. Like, I knew this was happening, I knew this was going to come, but all of a sudden here you are, or all of a sudden here this is. And, it's just an addition instead of like a needed in order for us to feel. Because if it's a needed, then it's fleeting. It's like, oh, I have it now, but now I want this other thing. And now I feel empty again. Like, this sucks,
So. And I also feel too that, like, I lost my thought. I also feel that, you ever hear that saying, like, when you need nothing, you attract everything?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that when we learn to let go, when you think about the law of attraction, it's that concept of setting the intention of what you want and working for it, but then letting go of that fear that you have that you're not going to achieve it, or that you don't have it, focusing on the lack. When we focus on the lack of, I don't have the money that I want, or I don't have the love life that I want, or, I think all of us as humans, we get to a point where we feel unsatisfied, like something's missing. And I'm still on the journey, it's a lifelong journey. It's never going to end. I constantly have to practice bringing myself back to being in alignment with who I am, because I'm constantly straying from that, because we're human.
Absolutely. I love what you just said. And it's so important, because the main reason I do what I do, Jalisa, is the awareness piece that we can give to others with conversation like this. Because once we have the awareness of even the things that, like, I highly recommend, if you turn this podcast on and you were kind of doing other things and you didn't hear like Jalisa's whole lead up, because we dove right into this, I highly recommend rewinding and like listening to the beginning again, because this is super important. And once we're aware of it, now it becomes a choice. And once it's a choice, it becomes, well, do I want to practice this? And like Jalisa said, this is a lifelong practice. Like, nobody is like permanently like just nobody's permanently happy, nobody's permanently sad, nobody's permanently anxious, nobody's permanently anything. That's why even when people label themselves around me, whether it's empowering or disempowering, especially the disempowering labels where it's like, you know, I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, or I can't do that. Like, you'll never do that around me, because what you're describing is what you've seen in the past, like that has happened, and that doesn't have to be a reflection of what's going to occur with the new energy that we're going to put into life from here. That part is a choice and a practice. So
for videos of hundreds of conscious conversations like this one, as well as live workshops, head over to universalabundance.co. That's universalabundance.co, and join the Universal Abundance community. And if you help us share this consciousness, as a result, attract and manifest unlimited abundance to you. Love and appreciate you all. Talk to you soon.